appetit. Come on, guys, let's eat. You're in the kitchen with Dr. Wendy Dearborn, yours truly. That's who that is, me, Dr. Wendy Dearborn. And I know it's been an absolute age since I've been here. I know this, but I'm here now. So I'm going to make you a recipe that I had promised to make you sometime last year, late last year, and I kind of haven't done it, but I'm doing it now. And it's called Salmon Poke. When we actually went to Maui last year, we went for our 30th wedding anniversary, we went to Maui. And I was introduced to Salmon Poke, which actually is sashimi, right? Sashimi, which is raw fish. And I'd had raw fish before, but I'd never had Salmon Poke. I hadn't had it done like this. So me being me, did my tasting and came home and recreated what I had with a little added to it. And so this is what I want to bring to you today. It's salmon sashimi. Okay, guys? So we'll get started. We're going to take a look to see what's on our cutting board. But prior to that, look, let me just say something about the salmon. In the actual PDF that you get to download, I actually say to you, you know, for your salmon, when you actually pop the container and open it, you take the saran wrap or whatever it is off of the salmon, or even before you take it off, you pop it and smell. Your fish should not smell. Your fish you shouldn't know what is in the container based on the smell. Your fish should not smell, and that's vitally important. Now, once you do take your fish out, if it smells, I would say it's not good to make sashimi with, okay? So once that's all sorted out, what you do is you're going to wash your fish. And I rinse mine off, then I sprinkle it with some salt. I kind of rub the salt into the fish, and then I rinse it off again, rinse it really well. I pat it dry, and then I put it back into the refrigerator, which is where our fish is currently sitting because I prepped that already. I put it back into the refrigerator to keep it cool. I also have a bowl that was in the refrigerator. Because you're dealing with raw fish, it's really important to make sure everything stays as cool as possible. And guys, I live in Las Vegas, so fundamentally it's always warm here, even in winter. I mean, this is winter. Look at me, short sleeves, sun's out, the whole 9 yards. So it's really important to make sure that it stays cool. So this bowl was in the refrigerator, but I need it because I'm going to make my sashimi sauce. And so I need the bowl. So I just wanted to say that to you. And so we are going to take a look at what's on the cutting board, guys. So let's take a look at the cutting board. Actually, we'll start with the veggies. On the cutting board, we have some sliced sweet onions. I have some, these are Fresno, they're chili peppers. You know, they're not too much bite, but you know, they got a little kick to them. So we also have those sliced. I have some cilantro, and this is roughly chopped. I don't like it too diced, so it's minced into nothing. I also have 4 cloves of garlic here, and spring onions, some chopped up spring onions. I also have the zest of a lime. I have the zest of a lime. I have vegetarian oyster sauce, which is a mushroom sauce, to be honest with you. It's made with, I think it's oyster mushrooms. And when you actually purchase this, you need to read the ingredients and actually make sure that it actually has some mushroom in it. Because some people, they just use wheat, caramel, coloring, and some sort of essence flavor. I also have a low sodium soy sauce. Use soy sauce. I have here some white pepper. I have some sesame oil, which is actually really important for this dish. Sesame oil. I have chili oil. I have chili oil. I have, this is my secret ingredients actually, and this is rice syrup. We're going to use a little rice syrup. It brings something else to the equation. I also have some mirin. Okay, guys, some mirin. Sesame seeds, and I think these are roasted. Yeah, roasted sesame seeds. Okay. and some salt. Okay, and so that's everything that we need, including our salmon. And what I'll do is I will get the salmon out when we are actually ready to use it. So guys, we're going to go ahead on and we're going to make the sauce. Usually I have everything in bowls, but this actually goes really quickly. And people have been asking me, they've been saying to me, you know, can we see some of the labels of the things that you're talking about so that when they go to the Asian market, they know what to look for. They have an idea of what to look for when they go to the Asian market. They know what to look for. Okay, guys. And the other thing is, this might cost you $3, maybe $4 in one of the high street supermarkets, okay, grocery stores. I think this cost me $1.90 or $1.59 in the Asian grocery store. Okay, just so you know. So we have our bowl. And so the recipe calls for, and I have the recipe here, the recipe calls for a quarter cup of your oyster sauce or your vegetarian mushroom sauce, which I've got. But because it's really sticky, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in my sesame oil first. And then that means that everything else thereafter should pretty much slide off of the spoon. So we actually need 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Okay, so we need 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. We need 3 tablespoons of the oyster sauce, because that's going to be a quarter cup. 3 tablespoons makes a quarter cup. So we need 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Alrighty. We need a tablespoon of mirin. Excuse me, we need a tablespoon of soy sauce. Actually, I should have taken the lids off of all of this. A tablespoon of soy sauce. We need a tablespoon of chili oil. And you can use less of that if that's not your thing. And we only need a teaspoon of the rice syrup. Okay, and that was a little bit more than a teaspoon, but we only need a teaspoon of the rice syrup. Okay, guys, so what we have in here is the mushroom sauce, i.e. the vegetarian oyster sauce. We have our soy sauce, we have our sesame oil, we have our chili oil, we have our syrup, our rice syrup, which is optional. You actually don't have to use that. And all we need now is 2 teaspoons of the mirin, which is it's a vinegar. It's actually a sweet vinegar. So we need 2 teaspoons of that. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to whisk this up. And this makes the base. We're going to whisk this up. And then I'm actually going to put in it's as simple as that, guys. This dish is so simple. You're going to see how quick it is. All right. And if you're doing more salmon or less salmon, you can tweak this recipe to suit how much fish you're going to use. I need half a teaspoon of white flour, half a teaspoon of white pepper. And I need to actually whisk this again. Make sure you get that really whisked up so that there are no lumps. Okie dokie, that's that. And then we're going to add the garlic We're going to add the garlic. It's all right, some of the spring onions went in there, but that's all right. We're going to add the garlic and the onions. And the julienne peppers. All right, guys. It's all right, some of the onion got in there. It will all make it, as one chef says, it will make it happy, happy, happy. All right, and so we're going to just mix that up. Okay, we're going to mix that up. Yay! Okay, and now we're going to slice our salmon. Okay, we're going to get our salmon out of the refrigerator. Salmon, there you go. We're going to get our salmon out of the refrigerator, and again, I'd already prepped it. I've already prepped it. This is a nice piece of salmon. This is actually what you're kind of looking for, guys. Okay, this is a very nice piece of salmon. And so we're going to cut this in chunks. I actually like mine to be fairly small chunks and fairly small cubes. I think that might be the right way to say it. Make sure that your knife is really sharp. It really helps the process. And take that. Oh, I sneeze. All right, take that and you just mix this. Really make sure it is really coated well. Make sure it's really, really coated well. Really, really coated well. And today I actually wanted a lot of onions in it today. You do not have to use as much onions. You don't have to use as much as anything or anything. This is really forgiving. Just make sure that it tastes right to you. I'm actually going to put a little bit of salt in. Okay, that was maybe just over a quarter teaspoon of salt. Wasn't quite half a teaspoon of salt. And again, I'm going to mix it. Make sure it's all incorporated well. And really and truly, I did not use, that was not half a pound of salmon. That was a little less, if I'm not mistaken, than half a pound. But this recipe, you can use up to a pound of salmon with this recipe. You can actually use up to a pound. Now, I'm also going to sprinkle this with the lime zest. I'm going to put in some of the spring onions, not all of them, but I'm going to put in some. I'm going to reserve some for garnish, as is the cilantro reserved for garnish. And I am now just going to mix this up. Then we're going to cover it with cling film, and you could eat this now. I mean, literally, you could eat this now. I like mine to sit for a couple of hours, at least 2 hours, and it's served over rice. So I'm going to let mine sit for a couple of hours, and then we'll come back and we will serve this over rice. You'll be able to look and see what's happened to the salmon, what's happened to the veggies, because as time goes by, with the lemon zest, with the vinegar, with the salt, it starts breaking everything down, and it just makes it so much more flavorful. So guys, I'm going to cover this with saran wrap, which is over here, and we're going to put this in the fridge for a couple of hours. Okay guys, and it's as simple as that. So it stays in the fridge, again for me, for 2 hours. You can actually do this so it stays in the fridge overnight, 24 hours. It's not going to hurt it. The more it infuses, the better it tastes. So the one thing to be really clear upon, you've just used fresh fish. Be sure to make sure you wash your hands, keep your surface really clean, wash everything in hot soapy water. Now, your poke, your sashimi, will last for about 48 hours. After 48 hours, Even if I marinate it for 24, that means I'm going to really eat it all the next day. So after it's marinated from 2 to 48 hours, the fish is actually still good. I just don't think that it's fresh enough to eat as sashimi, okay? Or sashimi, a better way to say it. So what can you do? Don't throw it away. Heat a frying pan or a skillet. Make sure it's hot. It really doesn't need any oil. Make sure it's hot. Better if you have a non-stick pan. If you're going to use, you know, a steel pan or something like that, maybe just a light coating of oil. Heat it until it's hot. It needs to be hot. And then you just dump everything in. Dump everything in, saute it up, eat it over rice. So even if you don't eat it after 48 hours, don't throw it out, guys. You can cook it. Doesn't take long to cook, about 5 minutes, if that. And 5 minutes is long, considering we're using cubes and it's salmon. So no more than 5 minutes, and serve it over rice. As long as everything's hot and the salmon's cooked through to how you want it, you're good to go. So guys, enjoy. We're going to come back in a couple of hours and I'm going to put that together. Here we have it. I actually had started eating and I thought I was recording and I wasn't. But anyway, here we have the salmon poke or salmon sashimi. That's this one here. Just some boiled rice, some jasmine rice. And here we have the wasabi crawfish. A little bit of vegetables here. I just sort of like cut up some carrots and some cucumbers to go with it. And as I said, I started eating. So we're going to do the taste test all over again, guys. All over again. Sashimi. Oh, excellent. The sashimi. Oh, I missed a bit. Guys, you have to try this. I mean, you really have to try this. If you like poke or sashimi, if you like it, try it. If you don't like salmon, make sure you can use ahi, you can use tuna, any fish that is really used in sushi that can be made, you can make sashimi with. So guys, I now am going to continue on eating. And on that note, guys, bon appetit. Come on, guys, let's eat. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, guys, peace.